First, we need to start and prepare prep our 4 ingredients, which is the garlic, the basil, the bread, and the tomato. We start by mincing the garlic. Using the knife and a hammer, we will smash the garlic to separate the skin from the meat, and then chop up and mince the meat of the garlic once we separate the skin. Next, we are going to mince up a basil leaf. Since we're only doing one serving, we only need to pull out one leaf. And originally the recipe called to cut it into fine strips. We're actually going to mince it. We want to get into the soup. As you know, when you start cutting this up, you're going to smell the aroma of the basil leaf, and we want that in the soup. Next, we are going to make 2 slices off this entire bread loaf for our cheese sandwich. We're just going to have this ready, so when we get ready to heat up to fry the grilled cheese, the bread will be already sliced for us. So we're going to slice it to 2 slices now. Now we're going to slice up our tomato, but first we need to make sure it's washed, and we want to core the tomato as well as cut off the end. And then we're going to slice it into wedges, since we're going to put it all in a pot and boil it with the other ingredients. Now we're going to heat up a sauce pot and cook the garlic, the minced garlic, in the sauce pot for about 30 seconds. You may want to add some olive oil, but it's your choice. Next, we're going to add our chicken broth, and be careful that it doesn't boil over. If it does attempt to boil over, you have to take it off the heat until you get the rest of the ingredients in, because the pan is going to be very hot at this time, and it won't take long to start boiling. Now to add your salt. And here we took off the pan off the heat because it started boiling a little bit too quickly. So we add some salt for the seasoning. Now we're adding our wedge tomatoes, as well as a can of diced tomatoes. We will mix those ingredients around and basically let it bring up to a little bit of a boil before adding the basil. Now we're adding the basil, and we'll just stir it to mix it in, and then we'll bring it to a boil. And that way we'll release the garlic and the basil and the ingredients to blend it into the soup. Because we're using lesser amount of ingredients, the time for this to simmer is going to be less than the original 20 minutes if we went for the full recipe. But since it's a one serving, it will cook quicker and sooner in less time. Now it's boiling. We're going to basically move it over to another burner to let it simmer while we're cooking our sandwich. We're going to pull out our rib cast iron fry pan. This has the ridges to give us that grill look, the grill design on the sandwich. And we're going to let this heat up. This is going to get very hot. After buttering each side of our slices of bread, putting the butter side down on the pan, and then adding 2 slices of cheddar cheese and topping it with the other slice of butter bread with the butter side up. Again, this pan is hot, and we're going to be constantly turning it, where you'll see the ridge marks will be established in the bread. Okay, our sandwich is done, and we're next going to need to puree our soup. You can use a blender, or an ideal item is a magic bullet, which is great, or the NutriBullet to do this. But here I am using a milkshake mixer for the same thing. Here I got a metal cup that I'm transferring my soup in, and this cup is metal and it's very hot because it's transferring the heat. So I'm moving this over to the cup, and I'm going to puree it using the milkshake mixer. I'm going to start by using pulses initially, and then a continuous run with your milkshake mixer. Soup's up, and sandwich 2. Enjoy.